Now, though, a lovely story has come our way of two of Ireland's leading visitor attractions coming together to share their common love of the Connemara Pony. So Kylemore, Abbey and Connemara is delighted once again to be partnering with the Irish National Stud to promote the Connemara Pony. Conor Coyne, who's CEO of Kylemore Abbey, joins me on the line today. Conor, good morning to you.
Keith, how are you? Long time no chat.
Absolutely, and that we'll have to stop that now. We'll have to be chatting more often, so we will. It's a lovely story, so it is, of a lovely Connemara pony called Ava and her foal called Peaceful Blaheen.
Yes, indeed, Keith. So all the ponies actually who are born on site in Kylemore carry the Peaceful prefix. And last year we established a relationship with the National Stud in Kildare in the Curragh. Whereby we would place a pony and foal, a Connemara pony and foal, with them over the summer months and into the autumn, just before weaning. So that was a huge success last year. So much so that the National Stud were very, very keen to replicate it this year and for the years to come. And yesterday we took the journey up with the mare and the docile foal, and they're now situated in a field side by side with some of the retired legends of horse racing, including Hurricane Fly and Faugheen, at the heart of the National Stud up in the Curragh.
It's a beautiful day out, so it is.
It is a fantastic place, actually. So I prior to returning to Connemara a few years back, I used to live less than half an hour from the National Stud, and it was one of our favourite places up in the east. It's such a kind of a break from maybe the urban centre up in Dublin, and there's some of the very finest equine athletes that have ever graced the turf, and they're there just to be met and just to be greeted. And I mean, you'll have horses like Hurricane Fly with their heads over the fences, and young kids can rub their snouts. So it's to come that close to living legends is just a fantastic thing, and for us in Connemara to be associated with kind of equine legends like that, I think is a great showcase for the breed down west.
And how many ponies in total, Connemara ponies, do you have in total? I mean, they're not hard work, but they can be demanding enough at times.
They can. Thankfully, I don't have to clean out the stables, but we probably have a few too much at the moment. So we have 7 mares and we have a few foals as well. So actually 6 of the 7 mares are in foal for next year. So Sister Carol and the nuns and ourselves are going to be very busy watching 6 sprightly little foals come next springtime. But since we've got them in to the estate just 5 years ago, they've actually really become part of a much loved part of the attraction. And we find particularly the international visitors, and particularly the younger international visitors, are so interested and so affectionate towards them. You know Kylemore quite well, Keith. Yeah. At the Victorian Gardens, the tea house, just across from the tea house is where we keep the ponies and foals for visitors to see. And every day we have kind of a talk and a feeding time where Ciara Nee, who in her own right is a very accomplished rider, she actually talks to all the visitors and all the tourists about the importance and the great aspects of Connemara ponies, and kind of whets their appetite to be more, to find out more, and perhaps maybe bring a pony home with them in the suitcases themselves when they fly home.
Well, I know certainly from a Chicago, Milwaukee point of view, I know that there was some Connemara ponies actually transported from Connemara to Wisconsin, about 20 years ago. And they've been bred out there as well, which was quite amazing. So do you go and check them then, or do the team up there keep an eye on them?
So it's actually great with the National Stud and our partnership with them. We actually exchange not only ponies, but we kind of exchange kind of tips and ideas as well about how to kind of run attractions that attract huge hundreds of thousands of visitors each year, because they're quite similar to us in terms of kind of scale and scope. Yeah. We often kind of exchange ideas with regard to sustainability initiatives, with regard to biodiversity on an estate, with regard to different elements like that. So we frequently have people kind of going up and down between both attractions just to kind of share ideas as well. Me, myself, I plan on popping up maybe in August just to see how they're going. But I mean, they're under very, very watchful eyes up there with some of the greatest experts in equine in the country. So I think, to be fair, when they make the trip down, they nearly lose a stone once they look out the horse box and see the desolate fields in front of them, as opposed to the Curragh where they're based for the summer. But I suppose we're very lucky as well, Keith, that Right beside us as well, we've got the National Park, and they also play a very strong role in promoting Connemara Ponies to the huge number of visitors that they have as well. And it'd be remiss of me not to mention as well that they have an art exhibition focused on Connemara Ponies in the National Park in Letterfrack at the moment as well. So for enthusiasts of kind of heritage of the west of Ireland, in particular equine, between Kylemore and the National Park, there's a lot going on this summer to learn about.
Good on them. Yourselves, I mean, what you have there, the product is just quite amazing. And even, I mean, and I've done it 1,000 times, when you're coming out and you come through and you're coming up and you get to the bridge on the right hand side and you see the Kylemore Abbey coming out of the trees. It's magical. Every time I see it, I think it's magical.
Very much so, Keith. And this year, I'm delighted to say, obviously, we had a few difficult years post-COVID. The whole world did, getting back to normality. But this year, we've really seen a very strong return of international visitors to the West in general and to Kylemore in particular. And it's just great to see the enthusiasm and the excitement, particularly from international visitors from the likes of the US, Germany, France, and even further afield, as well as Irish, coming to Kylemore. Maybe absence made the heart grow a little bit fonder, because we really have just noticed a huge level of enthusiasm from the huge number of visitors that have started to come back.
How are your bus tours? Because I remember post-COVID, I mean, you had a huge amount of bus tours. Are they back in their numbers again?
They're back at quite a strong rate. In a prior life, my commute used to involve the M50 in Dublin. Now the commute is dodging sheep in the Ina Valley and being stuck behind dozens of tour buses going out towards Connemara. But actually, it's a delay in traffic that you're delighted to see, because they bring. They bring so much kind of life to Connemara, and and let's be honest, they bring employment to an area that badly needs employment. So Kylemore is very happy to kind of play a role as an engine for employment in the area, and all the kind of the tangential benefits to employment in other sectors as well. And we need tour buses to be back, and they are, thankfully, and they seem to be very happy with what they're getting here as well.
So is it the same cluster of animals? And because if I'm right, they were in Áras an Uachtaráin for a period of time as well, where you had some animals in Áras an Uachtaráin, but now they're in the National Stud.
Exactly. So 2 years ago, or was it 3 now? Actually, time running by for me. So there was a pony and foal in Áras an Uachtaráin, and spent a summer there, and that was a great showcase actually. And that was a lovely piece. Then last year it was the National Stud for the same pony and foal, and this year we've actually sent up a different pony and foal, just to give everybody a bit of an opportunity for the Curragh grass.
Equality. Go on, yeah.
Yeah, and I suppose as well, it's very good this year as well to maybe give that bit of a highlight to the breed, because this year is a very important year for Connemara Ponies. It's the centenary of the Pony Breeders' Society, and in just under a month's time, there's going to be the big show in Clifton with a huge number of international equine enthusiasts coming there as well. So we're happy to hopefully contribute our piece towards kind of maybe showcasing and bringing a highlight to the importance of the pony in the month ahead.
Great stuff. Listen, well done to you. It's a lovely, lovely story. So it is. So if you're passing by the National Stud, or you want to go there as a day out, it's a great day out. So it is. You can do so. But thank you indeed, Conor, for joining us today. And we'll be in contact. That's Conor Coyne, CEO of Kylemore Abbey there, joining us on the line.